With a major selection of the looks your kiddos love starting at just $4 in the Walmart app, a new school year means a stylish new them. Who knew? Find skater skirts and Crocs that say, I'm casual but cool. Sparkly sneakers that say, it's my classroom, you're just learning in it. And preppy polos that say, I'm the teacher's pet, even if they're mommy's menace at home. Find their favorite styles starting at just $4 in the app. The Walmart you thought you knew is now new.
Alright, what's up guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss show, and in today's episode, so I was watching this video on YouTube where it was of this sneaker. I don't think she's a sneaker reviewer, but the channel is mainly a sneaker channel, you know, and that's one form of content that she does is legit checking sneakers. And overall, what is legit checking, I guess, for somebody that's not a sneaker enthusiast, not a sneakerhead. Legit checking is when you're pretty much seeing if the sneakers are real, because that is something that's common in the sneaker community, is that fakes get passed around. So you will see like a fancy looking pair of Jordans. You would think like, oh, okay, like, you know, if you know a little bit about sneakers, because that was one thing that I remember at my old job, my friend Jack, shout out to Jack, he always would ask me about like different sneakers, because like the cafe that we worked at, it was kind of connected to a high-end store. And I don't know if I'm allowed to mention that store name, but regardless of the fact, there were people that would come through there and they would wear some like fancy clothing and stuff, you know. So there's been times I've seen people come through with whole Balenciaga outfits, Gucci shoes. What else? I mean, yeah, they had money. They had money to blow. But the one girl I remember that had the Balenciaga outfit, her card had declined. I was like, that's some crazy stuff. I was cool with her too, but I was like, yeah, it was one of those things, because if it was somebody that I wasn't cool with, I was loud and proud about it. I'm like, yeah, that card didn't work. I'm like, you're gonna have to pay with something else. Like, I didn't care if I had people in line. I was like, yeah, if it was people that like customers that they gave me an attitude for no reason, I'm like, yeah, bro, I was putting them on blast. But with her, I was like, you know, I kind of just quietly showed her the machine and stuff, and because it said decline. And I was like, man, you know, that's tough. I'm like, that's seriously some tough stuff when it's like you have to, you know, and it's somebody that you're cool with, like you have to tell them that the card declined. It's like, dang. I'm like, man, I don't want to have this conversation. Like, I don't want to be the one to break the news to you and stuff. But anyways, all right, we gonna save that for a rainy day, talking on that and stuff. But no, a lot of the times though, customers, they would come through and you wouldn't be able to tell. So yeah, my friend Jack, he would approach me and he'd be all like, you know, like, oh, how much those shoes are, like how much, like asking me different questions about the shoes and things. And that's one thing about it, where it's like, you know, at times you can't really tell, like, if you like, because with me, like, at the time when he had started working there, that's when I had started getting into sneakers and stuff, like actually like becoming a fan of sneakers and things. So there was still a lot that I needed to learn about sneakers. And I would have to say, like, when I had started paying attention to the fake sneaker scene was when I had it was a pair of these shoes, Vapor Max. I remember I had got my first pair of Vapor Max. I think it was the Vapor Max 2. I can't even think of the colorway name and stuff. I feel like, I don't think it had anything to do with Tokyo, but I don't know why, like, Tokyo is like running through my mind right now. Let me see if I open up GOAT, what pops up in things, because I'm for certain that I don't think it was. Hold on, Fred. Vapor Max 2. Let's see what pops up if I type up Vapor Max 2. I don't. No, yeah, this was the one that I had. Where's the ones that I bought? Racer Blue, Hot Punch. Where did I get Tokyo from? I don't even know where Tokyo had came from. But anyways, yeah. So I remember that was like the first pair of expensive sneakers that I bought. And the crazy thing about it was that I didn't know that they were making, I don't think it was of the colorway that I got, but they were making fakes of Vapor Maxes. Because at the time, being like Vapor Max, they were pretty, I mean, yeah, I think they still are expensive. But yeah, they were like $200 shoes. So like when you seen $200 shoes, like those were like the Air Jordans and stuff. But even then, like still, you know, you would see some that were cheaper. So Vapor Max, if you see what a Vapor Max looks like, That's why it's $200, because they got like that big giant like air midsole unit and stuff. And yeah, it's a crazy looking shoe. It's one of those shoes where it's like, yeah, if you have a pair, get you a pair. It's something that is going to, because I remember being at the bus stop and getting a compliment on those shoes. And yeah, man, like they're flashy looking shoes and stuff. So, but anyways, but yeah, I remember that was the first time I had seen something fake related. Because I think before that, there was like, you know, whispers, like, because I was just getting into sneakers, so I didn't really see everything that I need to see, so I would see stuff here and there. But other than that, it was like it wasn't as like frequent as it is now. Like now you see a gang of different like fake pairs of shoes and stuff, and I'm like, man, you know, I don't even know how that stuff goes about, but I do know how you can tell like the difference between a fake and a real sneaker, and that's what this episode is mainly about. But just kind of giving y'all a little bit of a history lesson of, you know, my history with fake sneakers. I don't think I've ever bought a pair of fake sneakers. Like, I'm usually careful of where I go through. Like, I bought one pair of shoes from StockX. It was the Air Jordan 13 Flint colorway. I mainly bought my shoes like online through Nike and GOAT. Like, I have like went through Adidas. I'm trying to think. I've bought shoes online and then picked them up at like stores. So like, yeah, like Champs, Foot Locker, stuff like that. But I haven't like met up with nobody and bought a pair of shoes. I'm trying to think. No, I haven't. A friend of mine, he used to do that for a little bit, but yeah, because he's been in the sneakers a lot longer than I have. He's been in the sneakers since we were, I think, before middle school. I think he was in the sneakers like in all the way back in elementary and stuff, because I remember there was like mutual friends of ours that would have like sneakers and stuff, and he knew about that. I'm like, bro, that's just a white, red, and black shoe, not realizing it's an iconic Jordan and stuff. I'm like, yeah, for those that don't know, I wasn't always in the sneakers. Like, I got in the sneakers late. I got in the sneakers in 2016. That was the year I had started working in Seattle. So, yeah, I was like, you know, I was making good money and stuff. And, yeah, you know, and like when you're like making, like, cause the year prior, yeah, sneakers wasn't on my radar of like making content on them and all that stuff. Like, I wasn't really into sneakers like that, you know, like I know my dad, he would get me for when I was in school. He would get me a pair of sneakers, and I was like, I'm like, if they good sneakers, I'm like, I guess. Like, I remember he bought me a pair of Kobe 5s. And at the time being, I'm like, fam, I didn't watch basketball. Like, I didn't really know about Kobe's history and stuff. I know, you know, that might upset some people and things. They might call it rage baiting, but I'm just saying, like, I'm going to keep it a buck with you guys. Like, I wasn't really into, you know, basketball like that at the time being. Not like how I am now, you know, but, anyways, I remember he bought me a pair, and yeah, I demolished those shoes, bro. I actually ended up I wish I would have never donated those shoes. I mean, I know I wouldn't be able to fit them now, but still, to just say that I have a pair, I'm like, yeah, you know, I definitely, cause yeah, I think there's a place where you can like fix sneakers and stuff, cause I'll have to like do a video and show you guys like how I had messed those shoes up. But if you guys are familiar with the Kobe 5s, so like that hard plastic part that's at the back of the shoe, and then there's like that mesh that's not covering it, but it's attached to that hard plastic part. I ripped that mesh right off of the plastic part. Like, cause my thing is this, my feet were getting bigger. Like, when I had got those shoes, I think I had got them in the size 7. So right now my size is like 10 and a half and things, you know, my feet getting bigger, so I'm stumping my foot inside the shoe and things. Yeah, I was like, that was I had ripped the mesh right off the plastic part. So now when I'm you know, because I did get me, it was the Bruce Lee pair of those that same shoe, or the colorway. And yeah, I was you know, I'm careful with my sneakers now, but anyways, but no, yeah, getting into, you know, because I know that it was like, if I had did this episode where I just, because it would have been an extra, I mean, I guess it could have been an extra, but I'm like, nah, there's other things I need to talk on leading to, you know, like detecting fake sneakers and stuff. But yeah, they got fake Kobe's, they got fake Nikes, fake Adidas. What else? You know, you can watch like different YouTubers and stuff, because I know the one guy that I watch, he works at this store in California, Rami the Icon. There's people that'll go, and that's the thing that I don't understand, is that you're going to a sneaker enthusiast and you're trying to sell off a pair of fake sneakers. Like, I get that you're wanting to get the most amount of money that you possibly can, but it's like you guys sit down and think about that. This guy literally works around sneakers. The fake pair that you're trying to sell off, he has seen real pairs of those sneakers. So what sense does that make where you're going up to somebody that like they know about sneakers and you're trying to sell them a pair of fakes? Like, and that's the crazy thing about it is that fakes, I feel like every year they starting to look more and more better. Like back then, you would be able to, like, you could just look at a sneaker and be like, yeah, bro, that's fake. I'm like, Jordan ain't never did that move before. I've never seen Jordan do a backflip. Why is he doing a backflip on the back of that sneaker? Now it's like, you look at a pair of sneakers and it's like, bro, I can't tell which one is which. Like, is the left one the fake one, the right one the fake one? There's like, both of those shoes are fake. I'm like, there isn't no right or no left. Like, both of them shoes is fake. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I was mistaken. I did not know. But anyways, but no, if you ever do find yourself in a situation where you can't trust a pair of sneakers, so one, and I'm telling you, it's like from holding the sneakers in hand, looking at them, smelling them, feeling them, you'll like, yeah, if you get you a pair of sneakers in hand and you're untrustworthy, like, or like the trust is not there. But I mean, if it's like from reputable stores and stuff, then yeah, you ain't got nothing to worry about. Like if Foot Locker or Champs, they sell you a pair of fakes, they're gonna face a lawsuit. So that's something that they not gonna do to themselves. Them workers ain't gonna put their, I mean, yeah, you might have some workers out there, they'll do some stuff like that, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, bro, you gonna mess around and find yourself getting in trouble doing some crap like that. You get fakes. But it's like, it ain't even like the money is being pocketed to, well, I guess they could like to go and be like, oh yeah, they pay you, but then it's gonna look like you stealing money from the cash register and things. Like, you gotta ring that stuff up. So it's like, my thing is this: if that was to ever happen where a Foot Locker or a Champs employee, I feel like that's just, it's too complicated trying to do something like that at your job. So there'll probably be somebody that worked there, and then they're all like, oh, okay, meet me in the parking lot, and then yeah, we can go to my trunk and then buy. Yeah, if they do some stuff like that, then that's when it's like, okay, now I can't trust you. If we were in the store, I would be able to trust you. We're going to the parking lot. Why are we going to the parking lot? I don't trust that. But I mean, if there's, the thing is this, like, if it is somebody that you can trust, you're all like, okay, I know, like, they said that they bought this shoe, like, they have proof and they're showing me that they bought these shoes from the store and stuff, then okay. But even then, still, they could just be out there lying to you and stuff. So that's why, like, when you're when you're trying to look and see if a pair of shoes is real or fake, so one thing that you are gonna want to bring with you is one of those black lights. Those black lights, I think it's like, if it has like I think it's like glue or finger. It has like stains across the shoe, and a real pair shouldn't have stains across the shoe. I think that was the thing with those black lights. But I just remember that from a Judge Judy episode. Yeah, there was a time on there where a guy, he bought some sneakers. Turns out they were fake. He paid all this money for it, and what was crazy was that they considered it a transaction, so he didn't even win the case, and he was out of his money. And I mean, yeah, the guy, he got exposed on TV for selling fake sneakers, but still, I'm like, I want my money, like, yeah, that's that type of stuff where I'm like, nah, bro, that's crazy. I'm like, yeah, you gonna have to give me something. I'm like, nah, bro, give me one of the tires on your car, because I'm like, yeah, that's about $200 and things. I'm like, nah, that's some wild stuff. You just go and be robbing people like that and stuff. But anyways, but if you can't like tell like off of that, fill in the shoe, because like that's one thing about it, is that with those like fake sneaker companies and stuff, they will, so like Nike will have a pair of sneakers that have real leather. The fake companies, I mean, there are at times where they do add synthetic leather and stuff, but at least like if you're getting it from the Nike website or Foot Locker or Champs, you know that it's a real pair, like they're meant to have that and stuff. But let's say that there's a pair where they're all like, oh, these ones have real leather on it, and then you go in and you let's say you go to that person with their they got their sneakers in the back of a trunk and things, and you're feeling it and you're like, these don't feel right, something don't feel off. They might be fakes, because yeah, it's like, if it's synthetic leather and fake leather, you should be able to, well, I mean, at times it's like you can't really tell the difference, like I guess looking at them, but feeling them, yeah, synthetic, it has like a distinctive feel to it, because even just feeling, there's like a pair that I have, and it's like you can feel it. Don't feel, I'm trying to think, what pair do I have where it has like real leather on it and stuff? I feel like those might be synthetic. Yeah, I have to like see which ones that I have that has real leather on it and stuff. But I feel like these ones, yeah, that might be real leather. I don't know, but I guess yeah, it's one of those things where it's like if you can't tell based off of that, definitely have like a picture. Or actually, you know what? No, they got a verification app thing where it's like you can check and see. You could take pictures of the shoe, and then you could do that. So yeah, let's say if you're doing that, and the person's like, oh no, I don't want you doing that. I'm like, I'm not buying these shoes if I can't verify that the shoes is real. They might try to rob you. That's why it's probably best, because I know that was one thing that my friend that he would do with me. He'll bring me with me as security, and I'm like, bro, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm like, if somebody pull out a weapon, I'm running, because I'm like, yeah, if we gotta fight, then I'm like, yeah, then we can fight, we can scrap. But I'm like, if they pull out a weapon, I'm like, bro, I'm gone. I'm like, you better run with me. I'm like, I'm saying that's one of those things. I'm like, I'm out of here, bro. So, but anyways, but yeah, it's like that's one thing about it. If they being all weird about you verifying whether the shoes is real, yeah, taking pictures or even checking, that's indication shoes is fake. If they don't want you feeling the shoe too much, the shoes is fake. And another thing that and I know that's something that I pay attention to, is the smell of a shoe. Now, when you go and you buy you a pair of sneakers from like Foot Locker, Champs, Nike, Adidas, wherever and stuff, like you're going to the actual store themselves and buying the sneakers. So sneakers have a distinctive good smell, you know, and I think that's what fakes is that they got like a strong glue smell to it. Now, I mean, now, if you like a strong glue smell, then you might not be able to tell the difference. But if you smell like a real pair of sneakers and a fake pair of sneakers, yeah, you'll be able to tell the difference and stuff. Because I remember with those the Vapor Maxes, the video I watched where the guy was talking about them, he said that when he opened up the box, it was a very strong glue smell that had hit him. When I bought my first pair of Vapor Maxes and all the other pairs of Vapor Maxes that I've purchased, there was never ever a time where, and that was one thing that I always had paid attention to, was if it had like a strong glue smell. Never ever have like smelled where it was, or had like a strong glue smell hit me and stuff after buying a pair any shoes. I think the only pairs of shoes I remember that had a strong smell were foam posits, but I bought those I think I bought them from Goat. Or was it from the store? Oh no, I think it was from the store. I think it was from it was either Champs or Foot Locker. I remember they had like a pair of foam posits. And yeah, they had like a very strong smell to it. I feel like there were other pairs too that I purchased where it had a strong smell. But anyways, but yeah, overall though, like yeah, there are some out there that do have a strong, but it ain't like a strong glue smell. Like I think it was just the material and stuff that they used for the shoe. That was the smell that was hitting me, and I'm like, dang, I'm like that shoe. I'm like that is a tough. I'm like that's a hot Cheeto shoe. I'm like hey, that smell, it hit you, but it smelled good though. It was a good smell. It wasn't no bad smell. So. But anyways, and then yeah, you know, so yeah, like looking at the shoe, smelling the shoe, feeling the shoe, definitely going through like app verifications and stuff, looking through that and things, because yeah, I mean, and then like I said, if they're iffy about you verifying if the shoes are real, like they should just be honest with you and let you know, hey, these are reps, or they're the real pair and stuff. But yeah, if they're being skeptical of you checking the shoe and all that stuff, then yeah, the shoes is fake. So yeah, that's one thing about it. It's like, you know, you gotta be careful, like, you know, getting into the sneaker business and stuff. Like more so, like do what I do, just go to reputable stores, like reselling stores inside malls, or like yeah, they got like their own businesses. But even then, I remember the one dude, he actually was doing that. He had a store that sold nothing but fakes. He would go to these sneaker events and he would sell fakes at these sneaker events. Like he sold fakes to this teenager called him out on it, and he's all like, oh, I ain't giving him his money back, like his final sales and all this other stuff. But yeah, I remember that guy. I think he ended up getting his business shut down. And yeah, it was one of those things. I'm like, yeah, bro, you can't be doing that to people and then think it's gonna be good for you at the end of it, and you fooling around with content creators on top of that. Yeah, come on now. So, anyways, yeah, that guy he messed up. But no, I know I've gone through Champs, Foot Locker, the Adidas app, the Nike app, the sneakers app, which is owned by Nike. Then like what else? There's this one store, they had a location I would shop at, but they also have a website too, Sneak City. Who else have I went through? Yeah, I bought like one pair of shoes from StockX. I haven't bought nothing from Stadium Goods or Flight Club, but I'm open to it and things. But yeah, it's one of those things where I know when I be getting me pairs of shoes where it's like I get the looking. But that's why I'm like I say, I think the one and only time where I remember I bought a pair of shoes, I think it was a factory issue, but still it just didn't look right to me. But I remember I had bought the cool gray 11s that came out a few years back. And, I remember the shoe, like the tongue of it looked weird. And I'm like, I don't know about that. I'm like, and I'm trying to think, where did I buy those shoes? I think I did get, it was from this reselling store. And I think it was from this reselling store. Cause I don't remember going to like no official store and getting those shoes. So anyways, I remember I went, bought them, seen the tongue. One tongue was like straightened out. The other one was wrinkly. And I'm like, something don't seem right about this and stuff. So yeah, I went up there and I was all like, hey, can I get me a pair where the tongue ain't wrinkly and stuff? And the guy was trying to explain. He was like, no, it's like that. I'm like, no, it's not like that. I'm like, I ain't bought multiple pairs of Air Jordan 11s before and I ain't never seen that. So I'm like, that's weird, bro. And even other sneakers, I ain't never seen that before. So I'm like, I don't know about that, bro. I'm like, you might try to convince somebody else of that, but you ain't convincing me. I ain't with that. So I'm like, yeah, man, you're gonna have to, because I'm like, you're gonna have to switch it out, because I'm like, that just don't look right and things. And they switched it out. They were cool about it and stuff. But and you know what's crazy? It's like I ended up trading those shoes in. Like I did get, it was an older pair of the cool gray 11s. I'm like, I don't even know why I did that. That was weird. I was like, yeah, that was one of those weird things where I'm like, I just don't. I understand what I was doing when it came to sneakers and stuff. Like I wouldn't call myself a reseller. I was just trading them in and stuff. So yeah, I was like, when it comes to that trading stuff, I'm like, yeah, bro. If you find yourself having a good pair of sneakers, don't get rid of them. I'm gonna tell you guys that right now. Do not get rid of a good pair of sneakers. I've done that one too many times and I refuse to do it again. So yeah, there's been times I ain't looked at a pair of sneakers. I'm like, I wonder how much I could get for them. I'm like, nope, wait a minute, can't do that. And I'm like, nope, that is a no can do, cannot do that. So but anyways, with that being said, I will talk to y'all later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening. So yeah, once again, if you trying to figure out if a pair of sneakers is fake, check the smell, check the the material, like feel around it and stuff. What else? Definitely try to compare the fake ones with the real ones if you can do that and things. So yeah, by looking it up or even going through one of those like app verification things, black lights, and if you see anything out of the ordinary, then yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, but I'm pretty sure there's people out there where it's like they'll show you the difference between like those black lights and stuff, letting you know like, okay, yeah, this one's fake, this one's real. But watching videos and stuff, especially on like a pair that's like really popular, yeah, you'll definitely see some videos online, people saying like, oh, these ones is fake, these ones is real. And at times those videos, they might not, I think some of those people be doing that stuff just to get views, and them videos don't even, they don't even have like, if they got like two, they just got like two pair, one looks a little different than the other, and then they're trying to say that it's a fake. So yeah, you just gotta be careful, like definitely do your own little investigation. But yeah, but overall though, it's like if there's something out of the ordinary, or the person that is selling you the sneaker, they're acting weird, don't buy them. All right, so but anyways, yeah, talk to y'all later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening, and peace.